I was just going through your LinkedIn bio, and you talked about three. You have done three successful IPOs and acquisitions. What would be some of your key learnings that have stayed with you? Right. I know that you have traveled this journey of 0 to 1, 1 to 10, and 10 to 100 million. Right. And there are different learnings at each and every stage. Right. So, what have been those? And the other part is, what are those common factors for these five entities which you have worked for? Were they good at culture? Were they good at hiring right people? Or the technology was like amazing? What was that? So would love to understand from your learnings.
Yeah. So two questions in there. One is, what are the most important aspects of building a startup culture and getting out to market? And then the
Yes.
other question is, what have you seen to be successful for you? So you're going to hear me say a lot of the same things over and over again, and
Sure.
it's on purpose. Number one, people. Go
Okay.
hire the best people.
Mm-hmm.
Number two, simplify. I'm gonna play around with this a little bit. Simplification is critical. When was the last time someone came up to you in perhaps a social or a business environment and said something that you don't understand, and you said, "I don't get it"? We just nod our head and say, "Okay,
Yeah.
yeah," and then we move on.
Yes.
Think about your sales reps going out and communicating such difficult technical jargon.
Yeah.
Now, if you've got an engineering-centric founder,
Mm-hmm.
that jargon, that speak rolls right off their tongue like nothing, and they understand it. But if your audience is a business person, they don't necessarily understand it, especially now that we're getting into all this AI, Gen AI stuff. That stuff is complicated. People
Yes.
don't raise their hand and say, "I don't know," because we feel stupid when we do that. So we don't say anything. And then guess what? You don't get the sale.
Got it.
So simplification is critical. The third, create process. You got to create some structure and some process. However, you got to draw the line between creating process and overcomplicating. Because I just said, simplify your message, simplify your process, simplify how your product works, try to simplify how your product gets stood up at the client so they can get it running and start using it. And then the next piece, again, back to people, is empowerment. Empower your people to make decisions. Create process that says, as a marketing person, as a sales rep, as an employee, I can make a decision up to this point. Then I have to go get approval.
Got it. Yeah.
That next is allow them to fail. Create a culture where failure is natural.
Got it.
If you make a person feel terrible every time they fail, they're not going to push the envelope. You're going to stifle creativity. Give everybody the license to make mistakes. Now, of course, we all know you make mistakes. Let's do a debrief. Let's talk about what happened here. Why did we fail? What would we do better next time? Fail fast and learn. And then the last, document everything and organize your documentation. I talked about information development before. If you have the ability to have an info dev person or somebody who maybe in operations, that's their job. And I know in early stage startups, we don't have, a room tire, all sorts of people, but think about how many times somebody asked for, how do I do this? How do I do that? Does anybody have a proposal that I can use? And we say, yeah, we knew where it was, but I can't find it. And you waste all this time trying to look for it. And then you end up building it all over from scratch again. As you go organize, and we have Google Docs, and it's almost free. So it's very easy to organize your information like that, but there's lots of software out there that you can use to organize all your content, your information, so that you don't have to always dig through and look for things for hours that you've done before. Because capturing those best practices and those failures is really important. So those are the factors that I have found were very, very important to me along the way.
Got it. Got it. Love the learn fast, like fail fast and learn fast piece and
Yeah.
documentation. Because personally, Dan, I'm also a big believer of document everything because that gives a lot of clarity. And I think Amazon as a company has done great work for. Uh, I have many friends in Amazon, and whenever I talk to them, they say that for every meeting they walk into,
Oh yeah.
they have a one pager created, and that is floated with everyone so that everyone is clear in terms of why they are attending that meeting and what is the agenda. So that gives a lot of clarity.
Yeah, you're right, Avi. There's been articles, lots of them on Bezos and how he demands that you have a brief before your meeting. That brief is sent out ahead of time, and everyone must read it so that the
Mhm.
meeting can be as short and as efficient as possible.
Got it.
He's
Yep.
done something right. So take a page out of his playbook.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Great. Thanks, Dan. These were like really pointers, and I'm going to reflect upon it for sure, right? In terms of if we are following all of this.